He wrote, I just gave the topic. He can add more if he wants to his end. For my end, it will take 4 hours to give a full accounting in sections with cross-examination. And I wrote, sounds boring. He wrote, it was your call out. I said, an event that I know about from a news report that you won't clarify and claims you have about me that you're keeping secret. I run a farm and no one wants to listen for 4 hours. You're already out because you won't do it in person. He wrote, the terms are fair. With equal time, you can bring up whatever you want as a personal attack against me in the debate. Lord knows it's all you will do. I will stick to the facts. Don't care what you present. I never agreed to that, nor was that ever reasonable. I wrote, what facts? You won't say your claim. He wrote, my claim is that you have a long and detailed, storied, and provable history of lying and fraud and are currently still conducting fraud. I wrote, I never agreed to 4 hours or a debate without a topic. He wrote, what are we missing here? I just gave you a topic and told you can bring up whatever personal attacks you think you need to. That's your business. Let me make sure this is recording because this can get so tedious. I apologize, but this is a lot better than 4 hours. I wrote, so you're going to accuse me of a crime and not clarify. He wrote, you will have tons of time to respond. Look at the post format, knucklehead. I wrote, have you spoken to beep privately about any of these topics? If so, I can do the debate with you, but after we can depose you about an ongoing lawsuit. He wrote, no. Now do we have an accord? Option 2, you can apologize publicly and go away, and I will do the same. Those are our options here. I'm a graceful man. I wrote, it's why I want to know the topic. If it has anything to do with beep claims, then you're a witness in a lawsuit that's went nowhere for 2 years and is about to have cross complaints. He wrote, I just gave you the topic. You can say no comment if you want. It's your time. I wrote, no, I'm not doing 4 hours about a topic you won't specify while a lawsuit is going on. He wrote, I just specified the topic. Ha ha ha. He laughed out loud. I wrote that I have committed fraud, but you won't specify what the fraud is. If it doesn't have to do with an ongoing lawsuit, that's fine. But if it does, I have to know because you may be a witness. He wrote, that isn't necessary. My burden is only to prove you are engaged in it and have in the past. That's for me to prove. I wrote, I'm cool with that, by the way. I just want to prepare properly. In it, question mark, what's it? He wrote, and then Hypocrite says, it sounds like we have an impasse on the time factor. I don't think Andrew is going to budge on 4 hour requirement. Deal breaker for Owen because hashing out the topic might be pointless. And then Andrew just says, fraud. I wrote, yeah, this is nonsense. 2 hours is already long. So you've never had communication at all with beep or beep because digital companies have to compel that stuff. And he wrote, not that I'm aware of. I'd tell you if I had. I wrote, cool. Since you need so much time, how about a written debate? He wrote, I can't believe all this hubbub. So you could debate with me over the view of rape and take the feminist position. That's fucking wild. No, we aren't doing a written debate. Stop running, Owen, or just apologize and move the fuck on. You came at me, dork. I hadn't thought about you, and I don't know how long. Not true. He brought me up on his thing a week ago. I wrote, I'll debate on fraud. You just have to tell me the topic so I can prepare, and I'm not doing 4 hours. I'm not sorry for anything, Andrew. You're backing out with a cope. You picked the one topic that I'm in a lawsuit about and won't give any specifics and asked for an absurd amount of time. See, he's actually kind of hilarious if you think about it. My opinion on our son is pretty standard, and if I'm getting something wrong, you can just clarify it. Usually debates require an actual difference in worldview. And then he wrote, well, I need the time, so I have roughly 2 hours to make my total case. Ugh, can you imagine? So boring. With rebuttals, 4 hours is nothing. You wanted to go to Vegas, which would have taken days out of my life. I wrote, not secret facts with no intention of clarification. That's retarded. What case, Andrew? You can't do a debate on a secret topic. He wrote, I can clarify your position is absurd in the debate. Now isn't the time for that. It's your position to defend, not to clarify. I wrote, when I'm in a lawsuit. He wrote, what part are you confused about specifically? I wrote, it's not a major position of mine, Andrew. You can't just clarify right now if I'm wrong, and if I am, I'll clarify publicly. If I'm wrong and I got something wrong about the death, I would absolutely clarify that publicly. Hypocrite says, I have to agree with Owen that fraud is pretty vague. Can we be more specific? Is it taking donations under false pretenses or something like that? I wrote the topic of the debate. And he wrote, that's for you to do during the debate. I'm not here to handhold. I wrote, clarify, I have no interest in debating the death of your son. I have one news article and you won't clarify. It's also pretty dark and not a really fun vibe. What is your claim against me specifically, Andrew? And I will present to you anything you want before the debate. Is that why you won't be specific? Because if I explain why you're wrong and you still accuse me of fraud, that's legally considered defamation. He wrote, multiple frauds. First is ethical fraud case. Even if legal in some circumstances, the morality of Owen Benjamin's land grab scam is totally unethical. Second, the legal fraud case. Multiple victims of Owen have come forward and made the case that Owen lied repeatedly to his audience about the conditionals of his property acquisition and the many failed promises and outright lies of Owen regards to those. The current lawsuit is tangential. The lack of legal action taken didn't make it less of an immoral action, nor did it actually make it legal because he got away with it. I wrote, what's the topic? I'm not telling. He wrote, those are my claims. I wrote, who and what is their claims? He wrote, that's pretty damn clear. I wrote, hit me with their names and amounts they paid unless they're imaginary. He wrote, again, that's my case to make. I'm not here to debate till I'll debate it. Sounds like you have a fine defense. I wrote, a crime requires a victim. So who is the victim and what do they claim is owed to them? When did they pay and what did I not provide? And he wrote, that's for the debate. I already told you my claims. I wrote, a witness list. Is that tyranny? Yeah, and I have to look into it to defend myself. So who is making the claim? Reddit? He wrote, you going to offer me a witness list, Owen? I wrote, just had my 4th festival, Andrew. I have the list of donors. I'd like to know who the victim is. I'm not accusing you of fraud. He wrote, and this isn't a trial, it's a debate. I wrote, you know how many idiots have done this and when asked who, they never have a name? You're accusing me of a crime. He wrote, I don't need to disclose my information beforehand to you. Those are my claims. I wrote, so who is the victim? Is there a victim with a name that you have evidence that they paid me money to be a donor? Because if not, and you plan on doing this to damage me financially and my reputation, that's defamation and very immoral. He wrote, laugh out loud. It's hilarious you want to debate this here. Those are my claims. We going to debate or not? You came at me, bro. Don't cry now. I wrote, you came at me first and you know it for years. Who's the victim? Name. There isn't one. He wrote, already said in the debate I will. Prove with evidence post JB debate that isn't true and have the evidence to prove it, which makes no sense. I wrote, that's why you need 4 hours to spin yarn and waste everyone's time. What isn't true? He wrote, then you have nothing to worry about if this is your defense. So about the debate, my claims are now clear. We're going to do this. I wrote, then I sent a clip where he brought me up as somebody that made his own thing. It was actually positive. I wrote, so last week you were promoting someone who you believe committed fraud. Your claims are not clear. You won't tell me who my accuser is. You won't allow me to prepare for a debate involving an accusation of a crime. That's immoral and not something anyone should agree to. I know you know it's not fraud. He wrote, you didn't let me prepare before telling your audience my wife killed our son. It's not a trial. You don't have rights. It's a debate. We are here to discuss the format, not your winging. I wrote, I know you know I bought the land and filmed 2 specials on it and have had tons of festivals and workshops and everything. And you fucking know it's because I was persecuted. The fact you know that and are going to spin yarn is despicable. And about his son. It was a news article. I always have rights, Andrew. He wrote, less whining, more agreeing to debate. I wrote, you came at my family for weeks. He wrote, you always start with everyone. I wrote, your terms aren't reasonable. Dude, I hypocrite. Any opinion?